What is going on, Covenant fam? Yes, I am in my pink house robe because I am at home right now. Um, that's a story for another time. I wanted to come on here because I have been off the drivers for Covenant page for a minute. Like, I'm still part of it, but I don't really pay attention to every single post that goes up there. But seeing as how I'm sitting here and feeding the baby, I have time to scroll. Plus, I was looking for a specific post. Um, but as I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these questions that are just getting completely wrong answers about them. So I see drivers looking for co drivers, and some drivers are posting that they're unrealistic, looking for someone to drive a full 10 hours, right? That's insane. How is it unrealistic for someone to drive a full 10 hours? We're legally able to drive 11. So if you're running 12s like you're supposed to, you're getting sleep, right? The person that's not driving, obviously. But you only need a minimum of 10 hours in the sleeper berth, right? So it gives you like a little bit of an hour or so to play with, okay? When I say run 12s, is because it accounts for your DOT 30-minute required break and your switch out times, your fueling times, etc., etc., small bathroom breaks. It works, okay? I run 12s. And when I say run 12s, you start at a specific time. I'll just use the time that we start, 9 in the morning until 9 at night. Okay, that's what my co-driver drives. And then I start at 9 at night until 9 in the morning. Okay, so somewhere around 8:30, I'm looking for somewhere to pull, into a truck stop or a safe haven to switch out. Okay, not that difficult. And it's actually healthier. So their argument is, oh, drive 9.5 hours and keep it healthy. No, the only thing you're doing is allowing for you to gain recaps. There's nothing healthy about driving 9.5 hours. And I say that because your time will fluctuate between day and night. So you drive 9.5 hours, then your co-driver drives 9.5 hours, and you drive 9.5 hours, and so on and so forth. And then you feel tired all the time because your body's constantly being up during the day, during the afternoon, during the night, during the day, during the afternoon. It's tiring. You never feel like you get enough sleep because you don't. You're constantly being interrupted. So by the time you go to sleep, and our bodies have to get used to a pattern, right? Have you ever had those days or those nights to where it's like you're just so wired you can't go to sleep, right? Especially after coming off of driving. I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but it does to me. So when I'm driving and I'm just up and I'm wired and I'm done driving and it's time to switch out, I don't immediately go back and get in the sleeper berth. I don't know anybody who does. I don't know anybody who does do that. So I'm up for at least 2.5 hours, right? So by the time I go back there and I lay down and my body starts to like wind down and everything, right? Then I fall asleep. Well, they've been driving for that 2.5, 3 hours by the time I wind down. So I go to bed. How much sleep am I really getting? Right? Because by the time their clock is over in 9.5 hours, they're going to come and wake you up and be like, hey, it's your turn to drive. And you'd be like, I literally just fell asleep. So they're actually more unhealthy than getting a full consecutive bedtime, to where your body knows, okay, it's time for me to go to bed. Then you sleep, then you wake up. It's called circadian rhythm, whatever. I've talked about it in a couple of my other channels. My other videos. Um, so the point is that you need solid sleep. You can't just like up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, it's my turn, it's your turn, it's my turn, it's your turn. No. Like, you don't need to drive like that. To me, in my opinion, running 9.5 to gain recaps is for solo drivers. And I say that because they can run their truck however they like. So they have the power, because it's just them, to decide when to roll and when not to roll, when to take their break and when not to take their break. If they want to keep rolling without issue, then they drive 9.5 hours, then they stop, they go and shower and rest and do all the stuff that they want to do, and then they start when they're ready. Like, and then like they have those hours that they saved like in the bank for them to roll on good recaps, so that they don't have to stop and do a full 34 consecutive. And then for the drivers that run their clocks out all the way until they're down to like nil of like time on their 70-hour clocks, you're forcing yourself to take 30s, to take 34s. So the best way that I would say is find a co-driver that knows how to run their clock, or that is able to understand that you can get a rolling reset and only sit for 24 hours, right? And then that way you get back on the road faster and you don't have to do a full 34. But for people saying, oh, just drive 9.5 hours and keep it healthy, I started out driving 9.5 because I wanted to keep the recaps going. As I got further into this and teaming and doing all that stuff, 9.5 is not ideal for team driving. It's just not. Like, yeah, you get to stop sooner because driving is tiring, it's exhausting and all that stuff, right? But if you can get your body used to like stopping at the same time, waking up at the same time, it becomes so much easier, so much healthier. You get solid rest and all that. So just the fact that they're giving out like wrong information is just crazy. I wouldn't say wrong, because you can run 9.5 hours, right? What's wrong is them saying that it's unhealthy to run a full legal like 10 or 11 hours. That's not too much to ask. Work ethic is very hard to find nowadays. No lie. So if you can find a co-driver that is like-minded like you, that doesn't mind running the way that you run, which is ultimately the goal, right? If you can find that, you would be golden. Somebody that wants to stay out, somebody that wants to, run the truck like you run the truck, somebody that lives in your area. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, right? But it is possible. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of like understanding how things work. You hold your co-driver's life in your hands as well as they hold your life in their hands. So you have to make sure you're on the same page. And if not, and things change throughout, running together, whatever, communication is always the best thing. Like, always the best thing to do, because you don't want to leave your co-driver flat. I've been left flat, I want to say twice, but it was really once. And recent. I didn't like fully go through what happened to me with my not last co-driver, but the co-driver before that. So it's a lot. So anyway, just stay safe out there, guys. And if you guys have any questions about hours of service or the sleep rhythm and all that stuff, just let me know. But 9.5 hours is not healthy. So for them saying that 10 hours or 11 hours is not healthy, that's not asking for too much. You want somebody that's going to drive, that's going to want to make money, because that's the goal. So they're literally cutting themselves, an hour and a half of making money. It's insane to me. But anyway, you guys be safe out there, and until next time, guys, bye.